right now, it appears we should be okay if everything is going on. Changes, again, could be a bit of a problem a little bit later toward about the weekend. That's where we're going to be seeing the main problems with anything going on in the way of outdoor activities, because if this system strengthens up enough into the next several days, the computer models are already giving this thing a pretty good turn for the stronger. Now, what that does for our situation here when it comes to severe weather, right now we're not looking at anything, but it is looking at the possibility of maybe some stronger weather conditions as we go toward the week's end. We'll talk more about that coming up here in just a little bit. Let me confirm that we're on and we've got audio at this point. I think we're okay. Okay, cool. All right, sorry for that. I know we have to keep doing that, but unfortunately, that's the way apparently Facebook does its business. So I want to make certain that everything is working before we go too far into everything and I have to start back over again. So just makes more sense that direction. I'm Chief Meteorologist Austen Onek. It is Monday, the first Monday of December, December 4th. It is, again, decently quiet for right now. Some ups and downs in the temperatures over the next several days. It doesn't look like an Arctic blast coming on through, but it does look like some very cool temperatures in the next few days. We'll take a look at that coming up here in just a little bit. We'll take a look at our Panagua Auto Mall question of the day, and we'll also take a look and see what our West Shore home weather window picture of the day. Very much on the mild side, and most of that early this afternoon with temperatures back into the mid-60s. That's almost a full category above normal, but still about 12 degrees below the record high, which was last set in 1998, and a record low that hasn't been set since a few years before my grandfather was born, 15 degrees in 1895. We did manage to pick up for the month a decent amount this weekend. Don't have it in the last 24 hours, but we do have, again, a surplus in the month column of 1.25 inches. That's something we have not seen in quite some time, so that's very nice to be able to pick up. And for the year, that knocked us down again. We were pushing 9 inches behind normal, now about 7.5. So we are doing a little bit better, but the drought situation still continues. We're at 43 inches for the year. We should be over 50 inches, so that gives you an idea as to where we are in the situation as it stands. So we could use a lot more when it comes to rainfall across the area. Will we get any? Yes, but there's the big problem. We'll talk more about that coming up here in just a little while. Let's take a look outside. Island Cove getting rid of most of the cloud cover for tonight. Still a bit of a shimmer on the water surface, so we do have a little bit of a breeze taking place for right now. Going downtown on our Bailey's Heating and Air camera, looking off to the east-southeast. Hopefully a good sunrise tomorrow morning from this vantage point, and otherwise dry into around downtown. Traffic around Lee Point. All these cameras available on the EPB Fiber Optics WeatherCam network. Lee Point, traffic on 153 and 64 highways. Everything moving along, little decently dryish, dusty, kind of hazy off toward the south and to the west. So Lee Point, not really seeing too much in the way of visibility problems for now. Taking a look at Chattanooga Red Wolf Stadium. The Tomahawk crane and rigging camera, usually a pretty good backup from 75 north to 24 west. That not showing up as a problem at this time. Usually backed up pretty well here, so decently quiet around south central Chattanooga for now. Back to the North Shore, Chattanooga Theater Center from Speedy's Total Car Care. The holiday lights up on the bridge, some pedestrian traffic out there. Not too many folks out and about in Coolidge Park, down beneath the bridges and along the Tennessee River, going between the North Shore and downtown Chattanooga for this evening. One of our brand new webcams from the Chattanooga Zoo, the Asian Lantern Festival going on, not tonight and not Tuesday if I'm not mistaken, but we can see a good deal of the Asian Lantern Festival lights from this camera tonight. Because we're not getting the festival in progress at this time, we're looking back toward Erlanger Hospital out on the horizon. So we're seeing, again, some good conditions, good visibility in and around 4th Street and right along the railroad tracks right by the Chattanooga Zoo. so not too bad there. And last but not least, our News 12 studio camera looking roughly north, lights of Signal Mountain off in the distance. You can see those pretty well for now, and traffic on I-24 moving along quite nicely at this time. Usually can get some pretty good backups, not having that right now. Temperatures have dropped from the lower 60s from earlier on. Clear skies reported at the airport, northwesterly winds about 6 miles per hour. We did have some scattered light showers around and about. We are not getting too much of those left over from now. You can see some of those up around Bristol, right over to the northwest of Johnson City. Some of the lift in the atmosphere around the western areas of the Appalachians, that air gets pushed up slope and that kind of wrings the moisture out. So there is some areas picking up some light snowflakes several thousand feet up, but beyond that there's really not much of anything happening at this point, and probably not going to be seeing much for the semi-near future. We have one cold front out, and another one is going to be making its way in over the course of the next several days. This one back up into parts of Kansas and right into Missouri and Iowa. This is our next system, and it doesn't look like much for now, but this is going to be dropping its way down. Areas of high pressure kind of lined up over parts of Canada, pushing a lot of cold air straight down into the United States. That is going to take this cold front and shove it our direction, giving us a burst of cold air that will last for about 24 hours, and then we'll go back up on the temperatures. We'll show you the 7-day in just a little bit. We do have this system coming on through. Notice again, there are some speckles of rain showers up around Missouri, South Iowa, eastern Kansas, but they're minimal. This is a land-based continental system, and that means that it's bringing all its moisture with it, and that's all the moisture it brought with it. So we're not expecting too much in the way of rain. By the time this gets here, most of that moisture should be wrung out, and it's a good possibility that we may see some clouds, yes, but really not much picking up early Wednesday morning in the way of anything involving rain showers anytime soon. Now, the next system after that has any possible development of any showers and thunderstorms, that's coming up this weekend, and that's going to be coming in from down to the southwest. We'll show you the extended forecast here coming up in just a little bit. Susan Cave from Germantown, thanks a lot. Always nice to be missed. Miss being over in that area, especially miss being able to go get a Huey burger or some barbecue whenever I want to, but not quite as easy over here. And unless it's really sad, isn't it? Can't get anything like Gibson's Donuts, and all the Einstein's bagels closed up over here basically, so it's difficult to get a decent bagel or a donut over here. So miss the area, miss a lot of the people I was working with. Always nice to be in a place where you're appreciated versus a lot of where I was, but thank you very much. Nice of you to check in from across the state in Germantown this evening. Always nice to see somebody from that side of the state checking in. All right, let's go to the maps and put those into motion. Overnight temperatures, again, with a few clouds back in the mid-30s, so a decently cool start to the day for the kids at the bus stop. Mid-50s for tomorrow. Some clouds, but most of the clouds will be in the morning, sweeping out of the way by the afternoon, so we should get enough sunshine, but it's possible we may be just a little bit lower on the temperatures tomorrow. Now, you noticed as that front came through, the computer models really start spitting out some rain and snow showers. I really don't think we're going to pick up much of anything else outside of maybe a shower, and that's going to be on the minimal side. Usually when you have a lot of dry air, the computer models start saying, oh, well, every single little piece of possible moisture that is a peak or a concentrated area, that's not just clouds, that's a bunch of rainfall starting to pop up. Well, usually that's not the case. Now, in this area where we have a lot of hills and mountains out there and those winds get pushed up the slope, that orographic lifting, that is where you can occasionally have some of that moisture condensate into, again, the potential of some more areas of rain showers. I haven't had nearly enough coffee today. Sorry, I'm taking things a little slow. So there is the possibility, I would say, between us and Knoxville and the Appalachians of maybe some scattered showers taking place, light in nature on Wednesday morning, but otherwise temperatures by the time the bus stop rolls around, upper 30s or so at best. Getting into the afternoon on Wednesday, the clouds will disappear. We might briefly make 50 degrees, maybe. But that is going to be a stretch because if the clouds stick around and block out the sunshine, it's going to take a while for those clouds to move out. And once they do, stopping the sunshine might keep temperatures on the cooler side. So we'll see what happens there. But could be a chilly Wednesday coming up. And then by Thursday morning, back below freezing. So some pretty good frost possibilities out there. Getting into Thursday afternoon, should be a beautiful day, a few clouds around, but nothing in the way of rain showers. And then we see temperatures back in the mid to upper 50s. So we'll go down to the 40s by Wednesday, back up again to the 50s, the upper 50s, as a matter of fact, by the time we head into Thursday. So a nice little bounce coming on through into that area. Now, going a little farther afield, taking a look toward next weekend, again, the front on Tuesday night into Wednesday, that's where we could see some of those scattered showers. Higher elevations of the Appalachians east of here could pick up some snow showers, but it does not look like a lot. Now, the next point we see is looking off to the south and to the west. That is where we see this area of a low pressure developing here, this spin taking place as this storm moves up out of the Rio Grande Valley out there. Susan Cave, yeah, there's no place like Gibson's. Don DeWeese, the owner, a Memphis institution in his own right, and I always made certain to rib him about his golf games where he always seems to get at least 5 or 6 holes in one on his golf score, and then he would throw a donut at me, and then he wouldn't charge me for any of my weather forecasts that I would give. So that was kind of a nice thing. But yeah, we don't really have, there's some great places around here where it comes to different things like cinnamon rolls and biscuits and gravy and breakfast in general, but a lot of it is not what you got used to in Memphis over a long period of time. So we're looking for the more local spots that the locals around here like. But yeah, Gibson's there's not quite much of anything like it here, and always on the lookout for a good donut spot or a good breakfast spot over here. So that would be kind of nice. But again, thanks a lot for checking in from around Germantown, that area. All right, so here's the way it works. I think Saturday we'll see the possibility of rain developing and moving up this direction. So that'll be spreading in by late Saturday, and again going into Sunday. That's where we see that potential of some more rainfall spreading over the area and staying from Saturday night through Sunday morning. I think there is the potential, let me make certain I'm lined up here. I think there is the potential of maybe some thunderstorms developing. There is no indication right now of any severe weather, but keep in mind that right now and a week from now, that's an awful lot of territory to cover. So as we get closer to that, we'll get a better idea as to what we're looking at. There might be enough energy to give us a marginal threat by the end of the week. Again, that's not there now, but it is possible that it could be. So that's something that we will have to monitor in the next few days. Notice on the back end of this as well, the colder air reaching around to change some of this rain from St. Louis to Fort Smith to the Red River into a little bit of rain mixed with snow. Now, whether or not that lasts, going a little bit farther forward, Sunday into very early Monday morning next week, we might see the potential of some rain-snow mixture around here, depending on how much of this moisture manages to wrap around that area of low pressure and how much that drier air chooses to intrude. If we get a lot of dry air moving a lot more quickly, this whole western side of the system could fall apart very quickly, and we may just see the rain Sunday night, and then that's it, where we have chances of rainfall, because all of this will get eroded and evaporated by the dry air coming on through. What's left of that could linger for Monday morning next. I really don't see that as a problem. And then after that, that's it for the rain chances after that. Another chance of some rain and snow coming up late into the next week, the second full week of December, but that's going to be about it. I do think, let me run this back just a little bit here. As this system develops, again, coming out of the southwest, if conditions are right, and they have to be very right, especially when you have, again, a lot of that dry air coming around, for the potential of severe weather at this time of the year. We are in that second severe weather season peak, so now would be a very good time to review your severe weather plans, know what to do, where to go, all the usual stuff. It's not hugely likely. The peak of severe weather seasons here is March into April for the Tennessee River Valley around Chattanooga, but we will be watching this later on this week to make certain that we're not running into a severe situation. So that in and of itself is more than enough reason to make certain that we're all paying attention to this. So keep it tuned to News 12 and we'll let you know more about what we're looking for there. Island Cove, again, just a little bit of a breeze, shimmying the waters around a little bit, but otherwise a mostly clear evening, looking back off to the west, and a beautiful chilly night, but very much on the dry side for now. Going into the future, this is what we are going to be seeing. Again, the potential for a chilly day coming up on Wednesday, mid to upper 40s there. Back into the rest of the week and the weekend, temperatures just above normal, so it's going to be quite comfortable for this time of the year. Not too warm, but mid-60s, that's a decent chunk above normal. And then going into the next several days, we'll dip down on the temperatures again as we go toward next Monday. Lower 50s possible, which again is just below normal for this time of the year. But the weekend, I think that's where we need to pay attention to. I would really suggest, if you have any outdoor plans this weekend, get some Plan B activities indoors ready to go, because with this coming through, starting off early Saturday, getting more heavy rainfall, more potential of thunderstorms Saturday afternoon through Sunday afternoon, give or take. Rain chances finally start to dwindle late Sunday, so I just don't see too much in the way of anything in the way of dry weather coming up for the weekend. So we may get some spells of dry weather in there, but otherwise it's not looking all that great. So if you have any plans for outdoors, I would get some alternate plans lined up and ready to go, because right now this weekend looks like it could be a bit on the soggy side. So please keep that in mind, and we'll keep you advised on that. All right, tonight and next week, it's going to be busy where it comes to severe weather chances and where it comes to learning about severe weather, I should say. Tomorrow or today, if you're watching this, Tuesday, December 5th, if you live in the northeastern corner of Alabama, the two counties there are DeKalb and Jackson. News 12 covers those counties, and we want to make the viewers and the residents there aware of the fact that the National Weather Service in Huntsville, which covers that part of Alabama, will be holding a Skywarn Spotters course coming up tomorrow night. That's Tuesday night, the 5th of December at 6 p.m. Central at Northeast Alabama Community College. Now, if you are in the area and you would like to attend this, that's great. All you have to do is just register for a seat. It's free. Your tax dollars, my tax dollars help pay for this. One of the best ways that our taxes have ever been spent, in my not so humble opinion. This is something to take a look at. The reason they ask you to register, if they have a room for 30 people and 75 show up, that's not good, and that's not, again, legal to keep that many people allowed by law in a certain room according to the fire marshal's rules. So they need to know ahead of time how many people are showing up. So if you could register at weather.gov/HUN, that's the three-letter designator for the National Weather Service Huntsville. Register for a seat, let them know you're coming, and tomorrow night at 6 p.m., your opportunity to become a storm spotter for that area of Alabama. Maybe you live into and around Marion County in Tennessee, and that's the closest one meeting to you. That's great. Register and show up and learn about how to become a Skywarn spotter. These meetings usually last about an hour, hour and a half. They teach you what you need to know to look for severe weather, where it's coming from, what to look for, more importantly, what to report back to the National Weather Service so that they can take your report and put it out to the law enforcement community. There are weather wires, people like me on News 12 to let everybody know on our severe weather coverage what's heading their way, because your report could save a life. That is the really cool thing about being a Skywarn spotter. I tell all the classes that I go talk to at schools to consider volunteering for Skywarn, because if I was a employer and you listed that on your resume, that would impress me to say you took time out of your busy schedule as a kid and a student as a young person to volunteer to help your community by learning what needs to be done ahead of schedule to protect and to inform and to communicate. That's a big thing, and I think that counts for a lot when it comes to looking at who somebody is before they get hired for a job. So something to think about on that. Likewise, and also, this is not a chase course. If you want to chase storms, God bless you, have fun doing it, be safe doing it, but start here. If you've never done it before, you don't just go out and start chasing storms. You need to know about them first, and if you don't, you're risking your life, you're risking a lot of other people's lives because you might get too close to a storm, you might block traffic, you might cause problems, and you're saying, oh, I would never do that. Well, the people who don't know about things are the ones who cause the most problems in this field. And as Professor of Meteorology Emeritus Charles Doswell called people like that, quote, storm chasing yahoos, unquote, I find that fits very well because I've seen a lot of people out there, even in professional circles, who obviously don't know the meaning of the word courtesy or safety. And if you want to know more about how to protect yourself and where to be, and how to make certain that you're calling in or emailing or amateur radioing in from a certain location, you learn safety first and safety always in situations like this. So that's why these meetings are so incredibly cool and so incredibly important. The more Skywarn spotters we have, the better off we are all protected. So Jackson and DeKalb counties, your meeting is coming up Tuesday, tomorrow, or today if you're watching this after midnight on Tuesday the 5th. Northeast Alabama Community College, Rainsville, Alabama. Again, that'll be 6 p.m. Tuesday, December the 5th. Register for attendance again at weather.gov/HUN. Now, later on this week, there's going to be another one, this one in Tennessee, sponsored by and conducted by the National Weather Service in Morristown, which covers the northern part of the News 12 viewing area. This one will be held in Athens, Tennessee at the McMinn County Courthouse, 9 East Madison Avenue. That one you also have to register for. Thursday, December 7th. Again, that's a couple of days away, so you got plenty of time to plan that out. 6 p.m. Eastern. Again, it's totally free, but register at weather.gov/MRX. Again, that's Athens, Tennessee, McMinn County. Please consider becoming a volunteer. It's an hour and a half out of your time to learn about severe weather, and then you get a special toll-free number to contact the National Weather Service so they know what's happening through you. You're probably asking, okay, well, what about Chattanooga? Your time is coming, but it's not going to be until next year. 2024, Friday, February 9th, Hamilton County, Chattanooga residents can attend the meeting at CHI Memorial Hospital. That'll be again coming up next year. Register at the same place, weather.gov/MRX. Totally free, and the more storm spotters we have around, the better off we're going to be. You don't have to be law enforcement. You don't have to be a PhD in any field. You don't have to be an amateur radio operator, although that's cool and that helps. You don't have to be any of those things. You just have to be you and willing to look at what's going on. Spotters are exactly what the course implies. You spot for the National Weather Service wherever you happen to be. And you don't go chasing the storms. That, again, should be left up to professionals and not just your basic, not informed amateurs. Never ends up well. So if you'd like to do that, that's a great opportunity. Now, what happens, again, that's next year, Friday, February 9th. What happens if you can't attend a meeting, but you'd like to be a Skywarn spotter anyway? The Comet METED, or Meteorological Education site, through the University Council of Atmospheric Research, University Center for Atmospheric Research, I forget which one, but if you go to meted.ucar.edu and register, again, it's free. You take the Skywarn course and you will have the basics of the Skywarn spotter course available to you. You will also be urged by the METED writers and authors to take a course in person when it's offered so you can get on the National Weather Service rolls. And so if necessary, they can call you and say, do you see this, that, or the other? So this is a great place to be. Again, that's meted.ucar.edu. Great opportunity to see more and to learn more, again, at this time. So something to think about there if you'd like to give that a try at some point. All right, our Panaagua Auto Mall weather question of the day. The old tale goes, ring around the moon, rain approaching soon. What causes the ring? The votes, 51% of you said it was actually moisture in the sky ahead of the front. The correct answer was ice crystals acting as prisms that break up the moonlight. And the old tale goes that, again, if you see a ring around the moon or the sun, you're going to get rain possibly in another 24, 36, 48 hours. It's a pretty good way of doing some amateur forecasting, and that goes back centuries about how people notice that. We'll have another poll up at midnight tonight, wdef.com/vote now, if you'd like to take a look and see what exactly we're looking for out there. All right, at the bus stop in the morning, you will not need anything in the way of rain protection. We'll be looking at partly cloudy skies at first, and then heading home, we should be mostly clear. Plenty of sunshine on the greater Chattanooga Orthodontics bus stop forecast for Tuesday. Bit chilly in the morning, so I would make certain you're bundled up. Heading up or around the Gulf, no rain gear, no cardigan sweater, at least until the early morning, late afternoon hours. Highs cooler than today, back in the mid to upper 50s or so. Likewise, if you're heading out to catch a fish, I would watch very carefully the winds out there. They may pick up a little bit, so a jacket would not be a bad idea. As those skies begin to clear, it'll get a bit warmer, but it will take a little bit out there to get that warmed up. So please, again, use caution out there for that. All right, our West Shore home weather window picture of the day. Festive mood at Soddy Daisy, looking at the ginormous Christmas tree and the lit up American flag in light colors there. Thank you very much, Richard Chambers, News 12 viewer from Soddy Daisy, for our West Shore home weather window picture of the day. And if you've got pictures, again, we'd love to see them. Please send them to us at pictures@wdef.com or drop them to any of our social media channels. You can be anonymous if you want to, but just give us a location and tell us a little bit more about what you saw and where, and we'll worry about keeping the names off the list from there if you want to. Now's a good time to program your weather radio when nothing is going on, so go ahead and get that done. If you'd like to know how, go to wdef.com/weather, and we'll have a short video there for you to make certain that you can get things programmed carefully. Want to say this again, this is coming up 1 week from Tuesday. This is for the deaf and the hard of hearing community, that if you would like to know more about what's going on with the winter season, it's not often, it's happening more often these days where the National Weather Service will get involved with the deaf and the hard of hearing community. So when something like this gets issued, we like to pass that along so that everybody knows what's going on with this. So if anybody who's deaf or hard of hearing would like to attend the winter workshop, December 12th, the time is still TBD on that. It will be held in Huntsville. So if you live in and around that area, find out more at weather.gov/HUN. ASL interpreters and CART services will be provided. So if you'd like to take that course, that would be a good way to be able to make certain that you are in the know where it comes to winter weather and what to expect. Looking out into the Pacific Ocean, Joint Region Marianas, Guam, time is 1 p.m. on Tuesday, and temperatures back in the mid-80s. Winds are out of the east-northeast at 18 miles an hour, but with a dew point of 77, you've got a heat index of 96. Very good beach weather out there, so good to be able to see that. Again, this is our little offering for anybody who has friends or loved ones overseas. We like to give you an idea as to what it looks like in various military outposts around the world. Former Yugoslavia, Camp Bondsteel into the eastern Adriatic, 30 degrees, calm winds in Skopje, and looking at some cloudy skies at this location. Let's go a little bit farther to the north and to the east, but not by too much. Heading for the Netherlands at Volkel Air Base, 52nd Fighter Wing home in Eindhoven. Got rain coming down and 37 degrees. Not exactly beach weather there, and that's at 4 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday. Let's see if our data is still coming in from the Horn of Africa. Camp Lemonnier, yes, coming in at 77 degrees, west-southwest winds at about 5 miles an hour. So very good conditions there, very much on the mild side. Not quite so much as you go a lot farther, and I mean a lot farther to the northwest. Thule Air Base, way up around northwestern Greenland. Pituffik Airport at Thule Air Base, 18 degrees. South winds at 17 miles per hour. And while that's keeping the temperature up, that's taking the wind chills down into the single digits. So just a bit on the brisk side there. So could be, again, a very chilly couple of days into and around that particular area. And again, thanks to everybody who's wearing the uniform of our country who can't make it home at this time of the year. When you're wearing the green tuxedo, you dance where they tell you, according to what Colonel Potter said a long time ago. Data's missing from a few sites here. 32 at Sulaymaniyah International, Ankawa into around the area of northwestern Iraq at 41, and 48 being reported in Basra with clear skies. The report missing from Najaf, around Al-Assad and Baghdad and up toward Erbil. So we only have a limited amount of data coming on through here. But once again, thanks to everybody for wearing the uniform of our country out there. Hopefully you have a safe trip home at some point and get to celebrate with your friends, loved ones, and families at some point out there. That should wrap it up for tonight. I think we've got everything pretty much taken care of for now. I'll have more coming up on News 12 at 11. So stay tuned for more with Andrew Harrison, Rick Nyman, and yours truly, and we'll keep you updated on things. And, of course, the website available, wdef.com/weather. Chip Chapman will have more on your forecast bright and early on Tuesday morning starting at 5 a.m. And, of course, I'll be back tomorrow evening to keep you updated with travel information, weather where the troops are, and all sorts of other neat stuff. So stick around for stuff like that. All right, that should do it. I'm Chief Meteorologist Austen Onek. You've been watching Weather Overtime. Thanks a lot for joining us for Weather Overtime for this evening. And stay tuned for News 12 on air and online, and we'll keep you advised.